How's everybody today? Well, I think, you probably asked me, we've been off for 2 days, and obviously, this is the time that you try to start to get your players back, but at the same time, there's a lot of fundamental improvement that we need to make. I think the things coming out of the scrimmage that we need to improve on is, mental toughness as a team, especially younger players, to be able to persevere, sustain, finish plays, persevere the scrimmage, stay focused on what you need to do, focus on the details and finish. Those are, big things that as an overall team that we need to improve on. Offense, continue to improve on the route running and timing with the quarterbacks. We had a few too many turnovers. Did a much better job in protection and a much better job of running the ball, more physical on the line of scrimmage. Defensively, the second team gave up far too many big plays, too many mental errors. Need to play zone better. Had more missed tackles, need to tackle better. Had too many undisciplined penalties, but, the first defense played pretty decent, but we need more guys to be able to compete and finish and be responsible, and can't develop the attitude that we're going to endure practice. Every rep that you get, you got to finish, you got to give effort, you got to, give all you got till you can't go anymore, and then we'll have to put somebody else in, but it's the only way you get to the next level. And I think in the conditions that we've been in here for the last, week or so, that's a dangerous place to go when you just start enduring practice rather than going out there with a purpose and improving on the things that you need to improve on and not getting overcome by the conditions. This week the focus is on improvement, the things that we need to improve on as a team. We'll also look at some things that our first 4 opponents do that's a little bit different, and we'll probably start working on Kent State on Friday. So we don't really have, Dre was back to practice. All the guys that were out were back to practice today, so we don't really have anybody out. So we're kind of rolling on from that standpoint and nothing to report.
I wanted to ask reaction of 2 things today. Number one, I don't know if you know Pat Summitt up in Tennessee, and then the arrest today in Florida regarding Aaron Douglas's death.
Well, first of all, I do know Pat Summitt. I have a tremendous amount of respect for her as a person and as a coach who's probably achieved as much as anyone in our profession as a coach. And, our thoughts and prayers are with her and her family. I hope she can continue to affect young people and live a, normal, healthy life for many years to come. And certainly she has made a mark in our profession that few will ever be able to match or challenge, and have a tremendous amount of respect for the way her players always compete, respond to her, and have a tremendous amount of loyalty to her and what she's done with her programs through the years for her players. And we certainly hope that her and her family have, a happy, healthy life ahead of them, and our thoughts and prayers will be with her. Nothing can erase the pain of what happened, with Aaron. It's been tough, on our team when you lose a comrade, when you lose someone that is a part of your team. And certainly I think that at least now there is some, the person who did the wrongdoing is, being held accountable for it, which is a positive thing. But, nothing can really make that wrong right. But it is good that maybe this person will be convicted and not be able to do this type of stuff to other young people. And I'm hopeful that, we could crack down on that in all areas so that we wouldn't have that kind of problem, in our country with our young people.
Just with the tight ends, Michael Williams, is there any expanded role for him in the passing game this year?
Well, Michael does a really good job blocking. We have every confidence in him as a receiver. Brad Smelly is really a good receiver, and those 2 guys complement each other very well. But, we have no problems throwing the ball to Michael. And he's done a great job for us here. And We'll continue to use him in what he does best. He's a big physical player that can be a mismatch a little bit sometimes, in passing situations, but his primary role on our team is he's a great blocker and he's a very physical, good player, and we're going to continue to use him in that capacity.
Coach, earlier at the beginning of camp, you mentioned that evaluating younger players is as much about judging their capacity to learn as it is what they can do physically. You just talk about as a group how they did in that regard as you look back on camp.
Well, I think every guy does it a little different way, and I don't think it's just, we're not really talking about ability to learn. We're talking about ability to focus, prepare, take it to the field, and do it the next day and the next day and the next day. So it's about maturity, it's about focus, it's about understanding not only what to do, but how to do it and why it's important to do it that way. And I've also mentioned that when you have guys that have always been better than everybody else, they don't have a real big sort of, they don't see that as being really important. So it's something that they got to learn, and you try to teach them, and you hope they don't have to go through the negative consequences before they're willing to learn it. And, we have some good leadership on our team, and some of the guys are trying to emphasize, that to young players. And it really comes down to one thing, and that's their maturity. Being conscientious, being mature enough to understand the importance of and the responsibility that they have to be accountable for what they're supposed to do. And, some of the guys do really well. I think we got a bright bunch, in this class, and I think they're coming along probably better than most. And there probably are some guys that, may be able to contribute to our team. And we'll just see how this week goes, and then we'll have to make that determination as to who we're going to play, who we're going to coach, and where that leads us.
Coach, I just wanted to ask you, with the Kent State game coming up and with the events of April 27th, what do you hope that the fan, are you looking forward to getting back on the players, getting back on the field to give the fans some joy after what had happened in April, and what are they going to take away from that first game?
Well, I think that it's the game can offer a distraction of hope, of something else to think about, something else to get excited about. When we've had several months of a lot of people that had to suffer through a lot of devastation, a lot of loss, and really try to rebuild their lives. And I think we understand that, our games are really entertaining for a lot of people. And I think this is, something that can be a positive diversion for people to look forward to think about, and maybe help them be able to get back to rebuilding and doing the things that they have to do on a day-to-day basis. So I think our team is aware of that, and we certainly would like to do something in a positive way that this game would be helpful to all those in our community who have suffered.
I want to ask you about Phelan Jones and how he's improved and maybe what his role might be on the team this year.
Phelan's done a really good job. He's improved a lot. I feel like we have, really 4 corners that I view all as starters. I don't know which ones will end up playing the most. Phelan can play star, and he can play corner as well. Menzie has been the star, and D. Milner and Phelan are battling it out for who plays the other corner. And Dre missed a few days, but he practiced today, and we feel like all those guys can go out there and play and compete, know how to do it, and have done a really good job. So we're pleased with the competition that we have at that position, and Phelan's done a good job. He's also done a good job on special teams as well.
With school starting tomorrow, I was hoping you could give us an update on Deron Carter and Danny Woodson and what their futures might be with the program.
Well, we still don't know until we get the information back on Deron Carter, which I haven't heard anything from compliance today. We do have a few more days to be able to get this done, and we'll make some kind of decision probably on Danny Woodson in the next week or so. There is, the first day of school is not the drop dead date for when somebody can start school. So, we're weighing several options and several circumstances and situations, and I'm not really at freedom to discuss those, but we don't have all the information to make those decisions now, so I can't really give you any idea of what they, how it'll all end up until we get all the information.
When you had the opening for a defensive line coach, what exactly were you looking for, and what are the different things that Chris Rumph has brought to the program?
Well, Chris Rumph is, young, energetic, has a great rapport with the players. He's knowledgeable. He's a guy that really is eager to learn. He's been in a system similar to ours. We've had people come in like Pete Jenkins, who used to be our defensive line coach at LSU, who coached in pro ball for a long time, come in the offseason and work with them and help them continue to develop the techniques that we teach. He's a very good recruiter. He's got a wonderful family and is certainly a classy addition, to our organization in every way. So it's what we were looking for, and it's what we got, and we're very happy with it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.